Top 5 things to be considered before the world goes to crap, before the SHTF, before whatever should go wrong in the world that requires you to be a lot more self-sufficient. I compiled this into 5 things. I thought about it really hard, and it wasn't really that difficult to narrow it down into the 5 most important things that I think that I want to have ready for myself and my family, my friends. And it just so happens they all start with F, and I thought that would make it really, really easy to remember. So number 1 is fresh water. Do you have a source of fresh water, fresh, clean drinking water? Where I live, I'm very, very fortunate. There is a creek. You might even be able to hear it in the background, a creek flowing through the property that I could draw water from, boil it, filter it, whatever I need to have fresh, clean water to drink. I've also got a pond. I've got an opportunity to catch rainwater off of my roof. I have my own personal well that I can pull water from. I've got a hand pump, so if the power should be out, I can still get fresh water into the house, into the pressure tank, so I can flush toilets, wash dishes, do all the stuff that is required of normal everyday life, if you consider indoor plumbing normal everyday life, which I do. Because as we all know, life is going to be pretty short for you if you can't find a fresh drink of water. For all of you that live in the city, for all of you that live in the congested neighborhoods that are reliant upon city water flowing through the pipes and into your house, what happens if that suddenly stops flowing, or if it is contaminated for some reason? I've recently saw a report somewhere, don't quote me, but maybe Dallas or something like that, where they sent out a warning, a recommendation to boil all the water coming into your house because it was contaminated by some source, who knows what. But do you have a plan for that? Can you take care of these things? The basic needs, water. That's number 1. Number 2 is food. Do you have a supply of food at your house? Does it last longer? Was what in your fridge? Is what is in your pantry? Is it going to last you longer than a day or two? Is it going to spoil without proper refrigeration? All these things need to be considered. I recommend that you have a minimum of a month's supply of food that doesn't have to be refrigerated. Are you able to add water to it, to heat it up, to open the can, to have yourself something to eat? Do you have food? A minimum, I think, is a good goal for everybody. It is not impossible for most people to get is food, a 1 month supply of food. Good quality foods is also important. Don't make it just a bunch of trash food that you can't actually eat. Don't just get rice and beans and expect that to work for a month. Make sure you have a variety of foods. Typically, things that you already normally eat would be great. When you go to the store and you buy whatever, a can of something or other that you're going to plan on actually eating anyway, just buy 2 of them and put 1 aside. If your own personal SHTF situation should happen, do you have the means to still continue to provide for yourself and your family? If my leg is broken and I can't work, that's going to be difficult for me to make money. So having that food insurance policy right there in the basement pantry or whatever is going to be really, really helpful, and it's just going to take a huge load off of you, not just physically, but emotionally as well. I know for a fact that I can function somewhat normally for about a week without any food at all in my body. I know for a fact, because I've done it, that after about 2 weeks, my body starts to shut down and I become so lethargic that just typical daily tasks and routines that would be so simple for you, you wouldn't have to think about it now, after 2 weeks of being deprived of nutrition, becomes next to impossible. And then after that, it's just a very, very sad thing. And I refuse to see my wife and kids go through a situation like that. So I will do everything that I can to ensure that that never happens. Everything that I can to make sure that doesn't happen to my family. The third F is going to be fitness. Number 3 is fitness. And I don't just mean fitness as in, how many push-ups can you do and how fast can you run a mile. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean just overall general fitness, wellness. Have you been putting off that root canal? Have you had this pain in your back that you refuse to go to the doctor for? I recently hurt myself practicing jiu-jitsu. a big oaf of a man squished me, and I'm struggling, and I've put off going to the doctor about it, but I'm not going to anymore. I'm going to make the appointment and go see the chiropractor probably, and see if I can get that fixed and taken care of, so I can continue doing the things that not only I need to do, but the things that I just enjoy doing. And if, the SHTF situation happens, I can't be physically down and disabled to the point where I can't do what has to be done. So fitness. Are you eating healthy foods? Are you putting the things in your body that are gonna allow you to be as healthy and as fit as you can possibly be, so that you can be a good provider and protector for your family? Are you engaged in regular physical activity? Are you exercising on a regular basis so your muscles, your bones, everything is strong, and you can tolerate the physical demands that might be placed upon you in a tough situation? Figure that out. Fix that right this freaking second. Stop delaying it. Stop making excuses. Do something about it. Stop eating the crap food that you're putting into your body every single day. Stop it right this second and make a positive change, because people are going to be relying upon you. They're going to be relying upon you, the person watching this right now, you. They're going to be relying upon you to take care of them. And if you can't take care of yourself because you're in piss poor shape, that is going to be sad, and there's no excuse for that. So fix it now. Fix it. Number 4, faith. Number 4 is faith. I am a Christian man. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus as my Savior, and because I have a strong belief. When I say strong, it wavers from time to time. My faith is not as strong as I'd like it to be, so it's something that I'm really working on. That's definitely a weakness of mine, and I want to make it better. I want to make it stronger, so I'm working towards that. But I have a strong belief in a higher power that oversees what's happening in my life and genuinely cares about what happens to me and in my life, and wants me to make the right decisions, the good decisions. And I'm actively trying to trust that in that faith and listen to that small voice inside my head that tells me to take a left, take a right, do this, don't do that. And if I listen to those things, believe it or not, as crazy as this sounds, if I listen to God and I listen to those voices in my head, good things happen. My life goes better. Everything becomes more in balance when I listen to that voice in my head. So I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm not telling everybody that they have to believe what I believe, or you don't have to become a Christian. I think it's the right thing to do. I think it's the smart thing to do, and I want to encourage you to at least investigate it. But I think having a faith in something bigger than yourself, bigger than the government, having a faith in something that controls and genuinely cares about what happens to me is a big deal. And it gives me confidence. It gives me courage. It gives me the ability to do things that otherwise I would never even attempt to do. It gives me that will. It gives me that courage to take on challenges, take on risks that otherwise would scare me. They would coax me into just doing nothing, into nothingness, as opposed to being an outgoing, vibrant person that engages in the community and with people around me. So faith, that's a big deal. 5 is friends. Are you actively engaged in people in your community? Are you having get-togethers at your home? Are you going to potlucks and things of that nature? Are you having family and friends over for the holidays? Or are you this introvert that lives in your cave with stockpiles of ammo and food? Without friends, without people that you can count on when needed, it is going to be tough for you, I think. When the real problems occur in this world, real problems, stuff that you hear about overseas that you think, oh man, it'll never happen here. If that stuff actually happens here, I pray that it never does. But if it does, you're going to be heavily reliant upon the people in your community. And that's not the people on your Facebook friends or your Instagram followers. Those people aren't really real. They're real people, obviously. And I have developed actual real relationships with real quality people because of those things. But the vast majority of the friends and followers that you have on Facebook, they don't really care about you. If you were to get sick tomorrow, they're not going to call you up and see if they can bring you a bowl of soup. They just don't care. They want to know, what next pretty picture you're going to post, and more likely they're only engaging in you so that you will reciprocate that engagement and give them more thumbs up or likes. That's the sad, cold truth of the social media world that we live in, and that I am an active participant in. It's a weird thing, I know. But anyway, I'm trying to work that out as well. But do you have real friends? People that you can literally go see right now? If they call you, will you show up? If you call them, will they show up? If you call them and say, hey, I need you, I need your help right now, will that friend show up? That's a real friend. Do you have those people in your life? I do, because I have invested my time into them. I have invested and I've shared personal things with them, and I've given myself freely to them, and that's not to get anything in return, although that's a very big, huge benefit of that. That's not why I'm doing it. The purpose behind that is because the more that you give, the more that you will receive. It feels good. It makes you feel like a more complete man when you are able to freely give to the people around you. Are you doing that? Are you actively engaged with the people around you to build a network, a community of real friends, people that you can count on? And that's hard to do. That's a lot easier said than done, is to develop a network of trustworthy, real friends. But the only way you can do that is by actually engaging with them, not just, going out to eat from time to time. That's not real, but engaging in activities and doing things, helping people, helping them. If they need help in their garden, if their roof has a leak, go help them patch it. Figure it out. Don't make excuses of why you can't do it, or I'm too busy, or anything like that. Give up something in your life. Give up watching the football game. Give up something that's important to you, and give it freely to somebody else. And that is what will create solid relationships, and people that you can trust and count on. They'll be much more likely to reciprocate that phone call in the middle of the night if you're willing to do it yourself. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful, guys. Listen, I really want to encourage you guys to be prepared, because being prepared makes you a much more confident, capable individual. And the only reason I'm sharing some of this stuff with you is because I genuinely want that for you. I think the more capable, the more prepared you are, and the people that in your small circle are, the less chaotic, the less crazy the world will become when that SHTF or whatever zombie apocalypse actually does occur. And again, I pray that every day that it doesn't. I hope we go on our merry way, eating good foods and watching movies and all of the fun things and that we take for granted right now. But honestly, the truth is that one day it will happen. One day that SHTF situation will happen, whether it's a major worldwide catastrophic event, national event, or just a very localized tornado comes through your area, or that very personal SHTF happens. You get in a car crash and suddenly you're paralyzed from the waist down. Who can you count on? Do you have the things that you need to take care of the ones around you, your loved ones, and take care of yourself when that should happen? I don't know. So the 5 F's: fresh water, fitness, faith, friends, and food. If you're lacking in any of those areas, stop what you're doing right now and make a plan to fix that and actually execute that plan. Thanks for watching, guys. Thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you on the next one.